Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy Friday. It sure is happy Friday. And I am here with my best friend, Mr. Hustle. As you can see, he is getting ready to use the bathroom. This is what he does when he's ready. I didn't know this when I first started out, but my granddaughter is who told me. He goes around in a circular motion when he's ready to let it all out. And oh boy, here it comes. That was a lot this morning. And he didn't give me a hard time to eat either, so he must have been real hungry. Boy, when I came last night, yesterday evening, however you want to put it, he was behind his gate and he was going buck wild. Jesus, when I let him out, he started climbing all over my leg. I guess he said, Lord have mercy, my Savior is here. My Savior is here. Because my granddaughters, his owners, they're kind of strict with him. But you know me, I am strict to a point, but not all the way. You cannot be. Not even with them. So you have to be lenient at times. You know what I'm saying? You have to be lenient. So poor Mr. Hustle was happy. He was so overjoyed just to see me. I said, oh my goodness, Mr. Hustle, I'm here to the rescue. That's what I said to him. And he just looked at me and he started barking. Oh my goodness, I am so glad that I rescued him from his little lonely little nest, Anyway, it's a lovely morning here on the other side of town, by Mr. Hustle's house. As you can see, I reached here safely, as you all can see. And it's really nice over here. The house feels cold, even though we adjust the thermostat, we put it on heat. But I don't know what number they have it on because, they AC persons and, they don't really like to turn up the heat. But, a girl like me, I need heat in my body, especially when it's cold outside. And it was cold yesterday and in the nighttime. So the house was chilly to me. Maybe not to them, but it was chilly to me. But, I got under the blanket and I was okay. So you see me now. I'm dressed in this jacket and don't even think that I need it because the sun is just beaming down on me and I'm starting to perspire. I even put my hat on because I'm thinking that it was that cold outside. I just felt a little breeze. It feels good. But right now it feels like it's in the 70s. I suppose it probably is going in the 70s. I didn't look at the temperature as yet. But over here on this side, it seems like it gets warmer. I don't know. I don't know about my side because I'm not there right now. But maybe it is the same. I don't know. But I'll be over here, so I'm going to enjoy over here as well as I enjoy over where I live. So yeah, I was looking at YouTube last night and tears came to my eyes. Oh my goodness. Those wildfires in California, LA County, LA. Oh my goodness. It looks like the apocalypse. For real, y'all ever watch those kind of movies on television where you see all the buildings and everything is destroyed? Everything is like gone, like there's no point or nowhere of returning to live. Well, over there looks like that. Most of the areas that this man that was driving through on his moped because it wasn't a regular bike and it wasn't like a big motorcycle. To me, it was like a moped. And he was just driving through showing the public what it looks like. He was even shocked himself. He said, this is something from out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's unimaginable. It's unbelievable. And someone stopped and spoke with him and said the same thing. You know, they were videotaping too. He said they weren't no camera crew under when I say camera crew, news crew, undergrounds. You know, he was surprised that they weren't out there. I don't know. But while he was filming, you know, I didn't see any either. I saw a lot of fire trucks and stuff and sheriffs and stuff in the road. They said the National Guard was going to be coming out. And there's this lady from Atlanta, Georgia, African American, I do believe. She's black. She volunteers or works with the Salvation Army. So I guess the whole team is heading over there because she said she's going over there, and they showed her a few days ago, and she's so proud to be going to help, to serve, you know, because that's what the Salvation Army does. You know, they go out into these disastrous areas and they help. They share, they give out food and clothing and, you know, just overall support to all the people that is affected. You know, they came to New York when they had the 911 era. You know, I remember that because I was down there with the military, and, you know, they were serving us food and all kind of goodies. You know, they are a very supportive organization, you know. And when I saw the interview with her, you know, I said, you know, maybe that should be my next mission, to join the Salvation Army, you know, because they go all over the place, all over the world, helping everyone that is in disastrous conditions. And that's things that I like to do, you know, help. And it is so sad. It is really, really sad. You know, they said last night, you know, the night was going to be even worse because the wind would be picking up. And, you know, when the wind blows on the fire, you know, it spreads, you know. So they claim this is how what's been happening. I don't know how it started. I didn't really get into it, but I'm going to now, you know, because it's horrible. It is out of this world. And so many people lost their houses. Last time I checked, it was 5 people unalive. I don't know how many else is unalive now. But, excuse me, you know, a lot of homes, mansions, oh my God, gone. Burnt to a crisp, burnt to the ground. You only seeing like few structures like iron pieces that help build the house, but or the stores or whatever, but it is out of this world. It brings tears to my eyes. It brings tears to my heart. Oh my God. I don't know if any of you been watching the news or whatever, but it'll stop your breath. It will. I saw stuff like this in movies, but not actually think that I would be seeing it on TV. And especially in California, where a lot of people love heading over there, want to live over there and all that kind of stuff. Well, if they ever get that back together, it's going to take a long time and a lot of money. The United States, all that money they sending to all these different places helping, well, you better start helping your own. California needs it. I'm telling you, not just the homeless. All these people needs it. The homeless too, but these people now are homeless themselves. A lot of them, they lost their houses. They were showing houses that were still burning. And it's so horrific. You know what I'm saying? It's unreal. It's just freaking unreal. Some people is walking around outside, you know, they have masks on. You have to, because you're going to smell the fumes and all that kind of stuff, and that's not good. And it has a lot of live wires underground. He said the gas wires, the electrical wires. So when he drove into an area and he saw those wires underground, he made a quick U-turn because he was like, I am not going through that. So he made a quick U-turn and he would go down another route, you know? There was an area that he passed through that nothing happened to those houses. Those houses were intact, no fire, nothing. But a lot of the other areas, I'm quite sure he didn't get to go through all of it. He was just showing us what's going on over there. I don't know where the Salvation Army is going to put up their shop because the place don't even look safe. It doesn't look safe. So I guess they'll put up their headquarters somewhere. I don't know. And maybe they'll drive to wherever. I don't know. That's something they're going to have to work out on their own. And you know they're saying there's no water in the hydrants. How is that? What kind of crap is going on here? And President Biden was over there when this started. I do believe that's what I heard on the news. And that's a good thing because, you know, he got to see a little bit of it or whatever. And he called emergency relief for the state of California. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my goodness. 2025 just came in and here go all the apocalypse business going on. What else is going to happen? You know, I really don't know. But as they said, you know, 2025 is not going to be a good year. And I don't know what it's going to be like for me or you, but those people in California, they already seeing that it's not a good year because a lot of them, you know, a lot of them are rich folks, actors, actresses and stuff like that. Some is like maybe half well off or poor like me and you, but you know, a lot of them lost their houses. I even saw this actor, I don't remember his name, Caucasian. He was actually crying in the interview. He said he lost everything. An older man, he said he lost everything. Even one or two of the guys from the Midas Touch, that's on YouTube. I believe they're YouTubers or whatever. You know, they always giving out information about what's going on with this, that, and that. They, I was watching them last night too. You know, they, I think, well, the guy told the other guy, you know, him and his family, they're okay, but apparently they moved from where they were and they're staying somewhere else. I don't know. But Mr. Hustle just saw this big white dog. Ooh, look at him. He is beautiful. He is beautiful. And he's going crazy. He just gave me one jerk. He was pulling. It's a good thing I was holding on to his you know, the strap that holds his thing around his body. It's a good thing I was holding on to that. Oh my God. Because he would have took off and I would have fell on the ground. Thank you, Jesus, for that. Yeah, but get him back, you know. And the Midas guy, you know, I don't remember his name. I watch him so much and I don't remember his name. But, you know, he looks sad. He looks so sad. I don't know if he had tears in his eyes because I didn't see him wipe nothing, but he probably did and didn't want to wipe. You know, some people is ashamed to do that when they cry. But my heart and my praise go out to all of them, to everyone, even if your house didn't get damaged, my praise is going out to everyone, and not just there. My praise go out to everyone in this whole entire world, all those that's in the war zone areas and all that kind of stuff, those countries that's bickering and fighting and all this, you know, the whole entire world. Like I said, my thoughts and my praises with everyone. Whether you like each other or not, my prayers are with you all. Oh my goodness, I don't know. But it's such a lovely day over here. I don't feel like going back into the house right now. I have to clean up Mr. Hustle's mess, and I am. Yeah, and look, Mr. Hustle, when he got on his little coat. Look at that. It's so cute. Look at his little coat. And it's the same color as what I'm wearing, navy blue. Yeah. It's really nice. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. And it has the little furry part around the neck. Not furry, but you know what I mean. Look at that. Look at that. So, you know, this is to keep Mr. Hustle warm. Because the other one looks like it was small, but I didn't try it on. This one I just grabbed and I put, and it even has pockets. It's microfiber in it. Look at it. It's so cute. Look at Mr. Hustle. Mr. Hustle, you warm? You're probably hot because it's not that cold out here. But JU-Ice didn't know that. So I put it on you because I didn't want you to freeze, buddy. I didn't want you to get cold. So you rather be warm than cold, right? Yeah, buddy. I have to wipe his nose. You know, he has a little cold. It was going away, but now, you know, his nose is running. You could hear it rattling on his chest a little bit. But, you know, I dip a little honey in there because honey has antioxidant. And raw honey, that's what's good for the dogs to use, not the regular honey. It has to be raw honey. Don't put too much. I just put a little. But of course, I'm not a vet, so you need to talk to your vet about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm gonna cook some carrots today. He had potato, but I don't know if he has any more because I was looking for the other can that I gave Miss Skylar to bring back over here, and she just told me I didn't give it to her. I don't know. I did give it to her. So I don't know where she put it. So I'm going to cook some carrots. I'm going to look for it again because I was looking for it, but I'm going to cook some carrots. I brought a bag of carrots, a lot of carrots. Not the big humongous bag, you know. One that looked like it has maybe 8 to 10 in there. And they nice size. They not skinny. So I'm gonna take 2 and I'm gonna slice them up and cut them. Of course, I'm gonna wash them and peel them first. And then when they're cooked, fully cooked, you know, soft, I'm gonna take them out and I'm gonna put them in the blender, the Magic Bullet, and it'll be nice and smooth for Mr. Hustle. Let it cool and I put it in a container, put it in the refrigerator. And later on this afternoon, he'll be getting some carrots. You know, I give him carrots sometimes and sweet potatoes sometimes. So whenever he runs out of a sweet potato, I do the carrots. So if I find a can, I wouldn't cook the carrots yet. But if I don't, but I did give it to her. I did. I made sure that because I packed it in his little bag 3 days before they even came to get him. You know, I like to be ahead of things. And they were some I forgot those bags, you know the freezer bags, you know. I had bought a pack of 80. I gave them 40 and I kept 40 for my house. Now she's telling me, no, you didn't give that to me. Mind you, they weren't in a box because I split it in half. I took half out and put it in my drawer, and the other half I put in the Mr. Hustle's bag, and I threw the box out. You know, I don't like to keep the box, so I just take them out and I put a little rubber band around and I put them in a drawer. You know, it looks more decent like that. Plus, it doesn't take up a lot of space with the box. I also buy the sandwich bags and I put a little rubber band around it too. And then they have the mini size ones where you can put like little snacks in there, you know. I also buy those and I put them a rubber band and put them in a drawer, you know, and just keep them there whenever I need to use them, you know. And that's a good idea, people. You should start doing that. And what else? You know, I had bought me some cough drops, cherry cough drops and honey cough drops. Okay, buddy, I'm coming. When I was by the Dollar Tree, that was like a week and a half ago. So, you know, It's LU Ludens, I think that's the name of them. I remember buying those when I was in basic training. That was back in 1981. Those I used to buy when I used to go to the commissary with, no, to the PX. The commissary sells groceries and stuff like that. The PX sells clothing and perfume and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, they used to take us once a week, our drill sergeants, because we couldn't go on our own. We were trainees. So, you know, they were like our babysitters or whatever you want to call. And, you know, they trained us. So, you know, they used to load us up in a bus, a military bus, and we would go over there and we just pick up the items that we need. We couldn't just go picking up this and that and that and that, because they didn't allow that, you know. So if you need underwears, you'll pick that up. And we had to wear white cotton underwears. So the underwears that you brought there, you couldn't use. All the clothes that you brought there, you had to leave them in the suitcase once you got there, and you change into their gear, which is the uniform and stuff. They made you put all of that stuff in your suitcase, your bag, whatever you came there with. And then there was a big storage area to put all those luggages and stuff in, and they locked it with the key, and they kept the key. So the only time you got to see those things was when you was graduating and going home, or if you got kicked out because you failed basic training. That's the only time you got to get your personal gear that you brought with you. Other than that, you wore what you was assigned over there. And at the time when I first went, we were wearing the olive green uniform. They weren't in the camouflage as yet. That came about years later. So we were in the old olive green that they wore a long time ago. And you know, the guys, they dress uniform was khaki. Our dress uniform was, you know, the green uniform. Well, the green uniform, that's the dress uniform, period. But you know, the guys wore khaki, and they also wore the olive green. But we wore olive green, and we had the other olive green uniform, you know, like that, the dress ones. But you know, that's it. You know, we weren't allowed to wear regular civilian clothes during basic training. They not allowed even now, just that they wear camouflage and stuff like that. Oh my goodness, that was one of the best times of my life. I had a great time, you know. And yeah, getting back to the cough drops, that's the first time I saw those kind of cough drops. And I was so surprised when I had went to the Dollar Tree, I saw them there. So you know me, I had to pick them up. So I picked up 2 bags. I brought one to my daughter's house. I bought the honey for them, and the cherry I have at home. But man, back in 81, we weren't allowed to eat candy in basic training. So the cherry cough drops were my candy. I used to stock up with those cough drops, and that's what I used to be eating. That was my candy, even though it was cold, because when I went to basic training, it was cold. It was a cold month, and it was cold. And man, I was in Fort Dix, New Jersey, good old Fort Dix, New Jersey. That's not open for basic training anymore, but they still do a lot of active things on that base. Beautiful base, way out in the woods. And I enjoyed Fort Dix, believe it or not. And it was cold as ice, oh my God. So them cough drops came in handy, but it was still candy for me, because we weren't allowed to chew gum or eat any kind of other candy. So that was my candy. And I remember one of our drill sergeants, this was the female one, Sergeant Kerner, oh my God, Caucasian. She had this long, straight nose. And one day we were standing outside waiting for formation. You know, they used to stay in the building and watch us. And we had to line up, and we were freezing our butts off out there. But they came out when they were ready. And believe it or not, when they came out, we better be standing up there like 10 soldiers, cold or not. No bending over, no movement. And oh my God, she came over, because you know they do inspection and stuff like that. So when she got to me, she stood in front of me. She was a little taller than I. So her nose like reached the tip of my nose. So she was standing right there. And you know, I had the cherry cough drop in my mouth, and I was like going like this, you know, it tasted so good. She was like, "What are you eating?" I said, "Nothing, drill sergeant, it's just a cough drop." She was like, "What? Why is your mouth going around like that?" And you know, everybody is standing there. You can't look at each other, but I know they were saying, "What the hell this goddamn Ware is doing now? She's going to get us all in trouble." Because remember, in the military, if one mess up, everybody has to pay. Everybody has to pay. So I know they all was like, want to kill me now. So, you know, you can't talk back to them and stuff like that. You have to give them that respect. So, you know, I'm standing there now. She said, "Open your mouth." I said, "You sure you want me to do that, drill sergeant?" She said, "God damn it, soldier, open your mouth." I said, "Okay." So I opened my mouth, and here go the spit, because the candy was red. So it was so much saliva in my mouth. I know y'all are probably saying, "Oh, disgusting." I said, well, that's what was making me feel warm, because I had that in my mouth, and I was just going around like this and chewing and swallowing and, you know, playing with it in my mouth, and it kept me warm. So when she told me to open my mouth, all the saliva just started rolling out. I bend over so it could go on the ground, not come in my uniform. And she was so freaking pissed off. She looked at me and she said, she actually took her nose and she put it to my mouth while I had it open. And she sniffed to see if I was actually eating this peppermint, this mint candy or regular candy. This lady was really, really, really out of her mind, I'm telling you. And before we got to basic training, when we were at the reception station, the other group that we ran into, they told us, "Y'all just coming in?" We was like, "Yes." They said, "Pray that y'all don't get Sergeant Kerner. Just pray y'all don't get Sergeant Kerner." And we were all wondering, why? What's wrong with her? "Just pray y'all don't get her." That's all the girls told us. They kept telling us. And believe it or not, we got Sergeant Kerner. She was a beast. She was a beast. The only thing she didn't do was hit us, but they not allowed to hit us. But she was a great trainer. I'm telling you, she was a tough cookie. If you just meeting her, you would be calling her all sorts of names and calling her mean. But afterwards, she still stayed the same. But looking back, and at the time, you know, I didn't think she was mean. I thought that in the beginning. But afterwards, I got to see that this lady really loved her job and she cared about the soldiers. She cared about us. Her and those two men, they wanted us to graduate. They wanted us to be the best that we could have ever been. And they do a very good job. And I appreciated that very much. They instill stuff in you that you didn't had in you from before. I am dead serious. She had a son, you know, she had a little child, so, you know, and she wasn't a bad mama, and that I was told. But from the way she handled us, I could tell she wasn't, I don't know if she's still alive, maybe she's retired, but I can tell that she wasn't a bad person. She just had that look and the demeanor, you know, but she was 100% in my book. But that day took the cake. And that peppermint, that minty candy I was eating, it saved the day because we didn't have to drop in the cold to do how many push-ups she would have wanted us to do, because that's the punishment that they used to give us. You have to drop and give them all how many push-ups they say you had to do it. But it was like maybe up to 8 or 10. They didn't really go overboard with the punishment, you know what I'm saying? And then, I ran into some other crazy stuff too, like trying to, one night, I was on Baywatch. That's when you're doing guard duty at night. Everybody is asleep. You have to walk around in the rooms and check each bed, make sure nobody is falling or hanging off the bed, or they not doing nothing they not supposed to be doing, or they not supposed to be in the other person's bed or in the room or whatever. So, it was my time for that. And I went downstairs because you had to check downstairs too. So, one of the drill sergeants always spend the night with us, They didn't just leave us there at night. Somebody out of the 3 would stay over instead of going home. So this particular night, he was black. It was 2 Caucasians, a female and a male, and a black, but he was light skinned. And he was brown skinned. And it was his turn that night. So he spent the night. But believe it or not, they do not sleep hard. You think they sleeping hard. They don't. Because this is what happened to me. I watched 2 Spanish guys go to the machine. They have the machines right there to tempt you, but they have a lock on it. But there's a way you could put your money in and get your candy. And I watched the 2 of them take their candy bar out, and they ran up the stairs. But before they went up the stairs, they saw me coming, so they got scared. That's why they ran. But I said, wait a minute, can I get one too? He said, you have your change? And I was like, yeah. So, I'm looking around to make sure nobody else is there to see me because I didn't want to get in trouble. So as soon as they told me what to do, they took off. They ran upstairs. They were in their night clothes and they ran upstairs. So I went over and put my change inside of the machine. When the change is going in, it makes noise, and then the candy just rolled down and it hit the part where you're supposed to put your hand in to take it. So that noise was going on. Oh my God. I just heard this voice saying, leave my candy alone. I was so freaking scared. I was looking around because I didn't know where this voice was coming from, but it was a man. Then when I heard it again, so when I looked, he was in the room right across from the candy machine, just that the door was closed. I don't know if he was watching me or not, because he had plenty of time where he could have gotten up and looked, because the machine, he had to have seen me because he knew who it was. The next day, I left the candy. I couldn't grab it. I was so scared. I left the candy and I took off up the stairs, continued doing what I was doing. Then it was time for me to get off, and then I went into my bed. But he saw me because the next day, we all had our formation and stuff like that. And he stood in front of the formation. That's where everybody gathers, line up and stuff like that, for those of you who don't know. And he started telling the story. He said, I know who it was that was trying to take my candy last night. So I'm standing there now all quiet and stuff. Everybody's like looking around each other. Mind you, it's all females because we train with females. At that time, it was females training. Only time we was with the guys was when we go to the range and stuff like that. But other than that, the women train by themselves and the men train by themselves. Okay, I didn't open my mouth because I didn't want to give my damn self away. So And that's a big embarrassment. And then I didn't know what the heck he was going to make me do. I didn't know what punishment he was going to give me. So this man let that stuff stretch on for like 3-4 days. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess he's not going to do nothing. So, I was just playing it safe. But, I was still on guard. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't tell anybody it was me and nothing like that. I just kept quiet. And the 5th day, oh my God, I don't remember his name. I remember the female name. But this is what happened. We went to clean our weapons. We went to the weapons room. We got our weapons, and we were cleaning them because we was getting ready to go out to fire. And everybody got their weapon, and we were like sitting like 4 in a group, and we were cleaning our weapon and stuff like that. Oh my God. You had to take the weapon apart and clean each piece and stuff like that. Break it down. I was missing the pin. The pin is very little, a little silver piece. That was the last part I need to put my stuff back together. Mine was gone. I was shitting bricks the whole time. I said, oh my God. So I told the 3 girls that was with me, I was like, I can't find my pen. Oh my God, I'm going to get in trouble, Jesus. So they were looking around too, but they had to take care of their own shit, excuse me. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. Whatever he told me I have to do, I'm just going to do it. I just pray that it's nothing sexual or nothing like that, because he's going to be getting into some serious trouble if it's that. So they was like, oh my God, where? Oh my God, where? So everybody was lined up now because, he yelled out because it was time to turn the weapons in. We took long enough. So he yelled out, get on the line with your weapons. So we got on the line. When it was my turn, I walked in there, and he was sitting at the desk because, he inspect the weapon. So I handed it to him, and I said, Drill Sergeant, I cannot find my pin. So he looked at me, he looked around, he looked at me, he looked around. Then he took his hand, and he had the pin right in his hand. He said, is this your pin? I was like, I don't know. How'd you get it? And then he said, I know it was you that took the candy. I saw you. I just wanted to see what you was going to do. I wanted to see if you was actually going to say something when I mentioned it in the formation, because if you did, then I would have had to punish you. Because, if one mess up, everybody pays. But you kept quiet. You just kept quiet. And then he said, here. And he gave it to me. And he said, make sure you pay attention to when you take your stuff apart and putting it back so you don't lose it again. And then he said, just go ahead. And I was like, thank you. Oh my God. I was so surprised. I was so happy. I was like, oh my God. The only thing I didn't do was cry. And I just hustled on out of his office, went back and got in line with everybody else. And nobody else knew about that. That was that. So, you see, people, if you do something wrong and you own up to it and stuff like that, everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. It's when you don't own up to it, that things go wrong. So be honest. Honesty plays a big part. So, like I said, I got a lot of stories, believe it or not. But, I'm going to end right now. Just keeping my prayers going for all these people in California. My sympathy. I made a video of that. My sympathy goes out to all the families that lost someone, hanging their people. You know, things happen in life and it looks as though we'll never recover from it, but as time go by, we do overcome. We do overcome. And you all will overcome. You all will have beautiful homes again. Whatever y'all lost, y'all will gain back even more. You have to look at the bright side. I know right now, you're all looking at, it's not even dull, it's worse than dull. But one day, it will be bright again. The sun will shine brighter for all of you again. So this is JU-I saying, peace out for now. Have a good Friday.